Here it's very, very, when you say something is treif, in general think something's treif. You don't need something, it's treif. So you think of a piece of chaza. A piece of chaza is treif. Good. You go ahead, you take chaza, you cook it, right? You take the chaza out. What remains, we have a shaila of tam, right? And then there's the concept of tam ke'ikar. Tam ke'ikar means that you don't have the mamashus of the ikar there. You don't have the tangible part of the ikar there, but you have the taste of the ikar. That's called tam ke'ikar. There's another sugya which is called hetem etztaref le'isser, where you have isser, but the isser itself is not a kazayas, but the heter. So the heter is, it's with, if you go ahead and mitztaref the heter, the isser, you will get a kazayas. If you say hetem mitztaref le'isser, you'll get malchus. You're only starting off with kazayas of isser. The heter will be mitztaref le'isser. So how do we get into this, or how will we get into this? Is our Mishnah. Our Mishnah said, if you go ahead, what? You need a kazayas of achila to get malchus, to get chayiv. You need a kazayas. Okay? But even though you don't have a kazayas of the issa, but mitztaref with the heta, you would have a kazayas. And as we're going to see, not only you don't view it as it's heta with issa, the heta becomes issa. At kedei kach, there'll be a share of, it'll be tamei. That if you have tumah that's touching the heta part, it's going to go into the issa part, because if you mitztaref, it becomes a piece of this. So this is again this big machlokes we're showing here between Rashi and the Ramban. Exactly what exactly is. Rashi says in the bigger chiddush. Rashi says the het will be mitztaref to the issa even if it's not totally immersed in the issa. In other words, let's say you would have a piece of bread, and the bread, you have a quarter of a kazayas of bread, a quarter of kazayas of bread, and you have a half a kazayas of wine, and a quarter of the bread is out, and so it's mixed together. A quarter, you only have 3/4 with the wine and the quarter of the bread. Rashi says you'd say hetem start this, even though what? It's not in there. Rashi holds if it's in there, then it's tam ke'ika. And again, there's nafkaminas. But this tonight's sugya is the sugya of hetem mitztaref le'issa. There's a sheet of Rabbi Yochanan that we only say hetem mitztaref le'issa by Nazir, because by Nazir we have an interesting pasuk. That is very, very long pasuk by Nazir, and the pasuk basically says that mishras Nazir, lashon mishras. Like what's the lashon? So no, but I'm saying I think I have it from last night. Of course, I don't have it on the screen over here, but I have it. The mishras nazir. Mishras nazir means it's you have the literally absorbed, like together, and therefore they'll say this din of hetem and starkers. It's a very interesting story. It's much larger than Daf Yomi, but this is the. That's the shita of Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Vone, Rabbi Yochanan, and the Gemara is going to say there are other places also where we say this halacha. There are other places where we say this halacha. So let's be. We're on the 2 dots at the bottom of Lamed Hey Amud Beis. Amar Rabbi Vo, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Says Rabbi Vo and name Rabbi Yochanan. Kol Yisun Shebetayra, all Yisun Shebetayra, Ein Hetem Mitztaref LeIssa, to get the share of Kazayas. Let's just use the share of Kazayas as the number, right? All these in the Torah, we won't say that the share of Heta combines with the share of Issa, puts with the exception Meisuri Nazir. Puts with the exception of Isuri Nazir. Shay Omer Torah, Mishras. Because the Torah what says Mishras. Torah says Mishras. Okay, so now look at Lamed Vav Amid Aleph. Let's see Taisvis, just to get a excuse the pun, a flavor for what we're doing over here. Good. Ein Hetem Mitztaref LeIsser. Imachol chatzi zayis basa, the chatzi zayis chaylev. Ain't a chayev. You won't be chayev. You won't say that the basa, the heter of the basa, is mitztaref with the chaylev to be mechayev me. Chutz mi nazir shari amrit Torah v'chol mishras anavim lo yishteh. All the mishras anavim, all literally the soakings or the absorption of navim, you should not drink. Kloimar shem shara pitay biyayin. If you soak it bread and wine. And there is in the pas and the yayin together as a sum to equal a kazayis, chayiv be chayiv. So hechi de sharina besamach the ika chayiv hachi dashina besamach. That's what we're going to darshan in right. The ika kazayis miyayin lechude If you have a full kazayas of wine soaked in the bread, what's the chiddush? Mishra, guys, what's the chiddush? There's no chiddush. If you have the full shear, there's no chiddush. I'm chayiv for yayin. You know I'm chayiv? Because I have a kazayas yayin. The chiddush is I don't have a kazayas yayin. And the only way I'm getting the kazayas yayin is to mitzarif to what? The bread. That's the chiddush. That's the chiddush, guys. That's the chiddush. Continues Taisvis. The kazayas miyan lechudei krolamali umi yisura the mishras, and from the extra word mishras tashin lehachi. V'loy mikol. Okay, we'll in a second, guys. The pasuk says the chol mishras anovim. So, which is the word that teaches this din? The word kol or the word mishras? So he's saying it's the word mishras. Why? Because he limits the din to nazir. Because if he darshan it from kol, we're going to see in a minute other places where you say hetem etzaref le'isur, two other places, and the reason you say in those places because it says the word kol. So if Rabbi Yochanan is limiting it to nazir, it can't be because of the kol, because then it include the other two places as well. So he's just because it says mishras, and that's the source, mishras. So again, hetem etzaref le'isur, again, not something you usually think about. But usually you think about it's either asa, not asa. But again, this whole sugi and taruvis, the fellas, the hamkika, and again, according to the best working, the Ramban's working model of the difference between hetem etzaref le'isur and tam ki'ikar. By hetem etzaref le'isur, you have the mamashis there; it's still there. You have the isur still there. By tam ki'ikar, the isur has been taken out, right? And all you have is the tam, and that's the difference between the two. Says Ziri, an Lamed Vav Amid Aleph. Ziri says no. Af Sa'ar. Ziri says even Sa'ar. Now there's a halacha, fellas. Vayikra based pasuk at Aleph. Ki chol Sa'ar. Any that's chametz, any yeast or leaven. V'chol devash or any honey. Le'saktiru mimenu. You shouldn't go ahead and burn it. Ishel Hashem. So on the mizbeach, guys, you can't put fruit on the mizbeach. That's the bikurim you put before the mizbeach. Devash doesn't mean honey; means limited to honey. And sa'ar means chametz. Chametz. So in other words, there's a din of saktiru. You're not able to go ahead and bring it on the mizbeach. And if you do, you're even the lav of burning this on the mizbeach. Now, kichol sa'ar, and you know where you're going to dash in that hetem etzaref le'isur, guys, from the word kol. So if I'd have a half of kazayas of sa'ar and a half kazayas of matzah, right? Matzah is a heta. Sa'ar is asa. I burn it on the mizbeach. Hetem etzaref le'isur. You be chayiv. You be chayiv. This is what Ziri says. Now, why doesn't Rabbi Yochanan darshan this way? Because he doesn't darshan the kol, and that's how Tosfos said he darshan from mishras. Because he would have darshan kol, he didn't have to include this also, right? He'd have to include this as well. But since he only dashes from mishras and not from kol, he doesn't include bas laktiru. So that's one din. So another says Ziri, the din of bas laktiru will be also now kiman. Who's this according to? Rebbe Elazar. It's like Rebbe Elazar, the darish kol. It's like Rebbe Elazar who darshans kol. Now, who is Rebbe Elazar darshan kol? Look at Tosfos for a second, just for a quick view. Kiman Rebbe Elazar the darish kol. The perik elu oivim in Masechta Pesachim kol machmetzes lo sochelu. It says any leaven you shouldn't eat. The Rabbi's kutach habavli. Guys, kutach habavli was a classic case, right? A mixture together. Right, v'sheichamadai and meat and beer, upligi rabbanon alav, and the Chum argue on there. Upirish Rashi pelegelu oivim deziri mefarish abraysa the perakol menachas bois matzah ki chol sa'or v'chol devash leisaktiru detanya asam en liyelekula miksasim minayin tam lem kol iruvi minayin tam lem kichol. Okay, so it's kichol. So the bottom line is, if you dash in kol, you can go ahead and extend it. Not only are you limited to by leisaktiru, you can even extend it to chametz. As the Gemara says, the Gemara Hachi, if it's according to Rebbe Elazar, dashens the kol. Guys, the Chacham dashen kichol. Rebbe Elazar dashens kol alone. Read the Gemara, if this is according to Rebbe Elazar dashens kol, why are you limiting it to bal saktiru? I have another hetem etzaref le'isur where it says the word kol. Where is that? Chametz. Hachi le'inyan chametz le'inyan what? Eating chametz nami. You should, in other words, eating chametz should also, because it's kol machmetz l'sachelu. It says lashon kol. So once you dash in kol by what? By bal saktiru, you should dash in kol by chametz. Good. Says the Gemara nachinami. You're right. Nachinami. You're right. Right. What's the reason Ziri only said his din by what? By bal saktiru. Lafuki ma'abaya, to go ahead and exclude the shita of Abaya. The Amar yesh haktara b'pachas mikazayis. If the halacha of Baal Saktiru is even less than a kazayis, Kamashmalon that in Torah pachas mikazayis, by saying the din of hetem mitzdaref leissa by Baal Saktiru is the hakpada to tell me that it has to be a kazayis. Okay, so let's get some of the reinu. Says Rabbi Yochanan, who doesn't darshan kol, the only place in the Torah that hetem mitzdaref leissa is where? Nazir. But why? It says mishras. Says Ziri, who darshans kol, I got two other places for hetem mitzdaref leissa. This is about saktiru, and this is like a kol machmetzes leissa chelu chametz. You should eat it. Fred the Gemara, why did Ziri just shell sich on mad on by saktiru? Because he wanted to tell us a unique din about saktiru. What's the unique din? That you need to share as opposed to a buyer that there's no share by the saktiru, even less than a kasai should be chayiv. Okay, so that's basically those are facts. Those are facts. Good. Now, Yosef Ravdimi comes along. Ravdimi comes along at Ravdimi. Come along the Shmaitza. He said the shmua of Rabbi Abahu that any isser in the Torah you do not say hetem mitzdaref leissa. Only what? By Nazir. Only by Nazir. Esvei Abaya. Now there's a Mishnah in Tful Yoim. Now what's a Tful Yoim, fellas? A Tful Yoim is someone who went to the mikvah. He's waiting for Herish Shemesh. What level of tumah is he? The Rabbanon? He's a sheni. What can a sheni do? It can be mitama truma to make it a shlishi. It can be mitama truma to make it a shlishi, right? Good. So now we're going to ask a question, and from that question we want to say that that we see a din of hetem mitzdaref leissa, right? Not limited to nazir, even beyond nazir. Good. Says where is that? The following case. This is hamikba shel truma. You got this cereal, this porridge of truma, and it's flavored. It has shum, it has garlic in it, vashem, it has oil in it. Mamish geschmack is anything shel chulin. So the mikveh is truma, which is subject to the tumah of Tful Yaim. The shemen and the garlic are chulin; they're not subject to the tumah of a Tful Yaim. V'naga Tful Yaim b'miktsasan, and the Tful Yaim touches part of it. Pasal es kulan. We go ahead and pasal es kulan. Why? Because you could say that the bottle, that the shum and the shemen are bottled to the roiv, right? They're bottled to the roiv. Mikvah shall, conversely, the opposite case. Mikvah shall chulin v'hashum v'hashemen shall truma. If the porridge is of chulin and the shum and the shemen, the garlic and the oil of truma, v'nagat Tful Yaim b'miktsasan, and he touches part of it, then it won't be what Tful Yaim b'miktsasan. Then v'avinam ba mago. Okay, and we say v'nagat Tful Yaim b'miktsasan, and he touches a part of it, right? What's the din? Like pasal elamaka magai. He's only going to pasal what? The place of his maga. He's only going to touch that place. Now, if you use the din of bittel, it should be all chulin. Your roiv is chulin, right? Your roiv is chulin. Now, be aware, the share of bittel by truma d'Rabbanan is meya, is 100. We say bittel is beroiv, right? Achrei rabim lahatais is batel beroiv. So midaraisa, this truma should be batel. And there shouldn't be any tumah at all, right? There shouldn't be any tumah at all. No. So now, he touches the place like pasal al makamagoi, va'avinan ba, and we asked, right? Makamago my pasal. Since roiv of the place is kulin, and the shum and the shemen of truma should be bottled to that, why should it be? Why should it be tamei? Why should it be tamei? But Amar Rabbi Barachan, I'll tell you why. Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Matam, what's the reason that it's tamei? Because hoil, this is what we need. Hoil v'zar like Allah b'kazayas, right? If a zar would eat this, he'd get malchus. If a zar would eat this, he'd get malchus. Now, my timer, why would a zar get malchus, guys? What's the reason? If a zar would eat this, get malchus. After all, it should be batel b'roiv. It's a lav mishum the heta mitzdaref le'isser. That what? The tam of the chulin is mitzdaref with the truma to mechayiv anyone who eats it, even though you didn't eat a kazayas from the truma. You got, since the roiv is chulin, chances are when you ate this, you did not consume a kazayas of truma. Yet you're getting malchus. If you're getting malchus, you must have eaten a kazayas. How was it possible to create a kazayas? It must be why. In other words, it's kind of backward, guys, backward logic. In order for it to be tamei, it has to be truma, correct? And we know it's truma because you're getting malchus for eating it. But 1 second, if you say batal baroiv, where's your kazayas over here? Well, it must be you don't have a kazayas of truma. What do you have? A little bit of truma, combining what with chulin. So how can you Rabbi Yochanan say that you're limiting and say that only by nazir we say hetem mitzaref l'isur? You say it by truma, and here you can't say kol. You know, before I could have answered you up. Why did Rabbi Yochanan darshan from Bal Saktiru? I could say why he didn't darshan from chametz, right? Because the bite cases he doesn't darshan kol, he darshan mishras. But over here, it's not kol, and nonetheless, what you're going to get malchus for what for eating a kazayas. Now, did you eat a kazayas? No. Why didn't you eat a kazayas? Because it's Rav Chulin. So therefore, it must be hetem mitzaref l'isur. So you have a raya that hetem mitzaref l'isur. Again, nice numbers. Outside of Nazir. So Amid base. So Amalei. So said Amalei. So said he said to him, who said to who? The Abaye is the kasha. Rav Dimi. Okay. So Rav Dimi l'chari said to Abaya. Rav Dimi said to Abaya, Loy. You know what you're getting? My kazayas, dika kazayas b'chtei achilas pras. Guys, you didn't eat a little bit of truma combined with chulin to create kazayas. You ate a full kazayas of truma. Even though, in other words, you ate enough of this mixture, that you ate a kazayas of truma. In other words, the kasha was that l'chayra you didn't eat enough to mechayev malchus, so it must be that you mitzaref the head with it. The answer is no. You ate a full kazayas of truma b'chdei achilas pras. Now, achilas pras is half a loaf of bread, right? Half a loaf of bread. When a bread is, I think four eggs. They have 4 eggs. So that's the share of achilas pras that we know Allah lamaisa. What's the share? Can we coming up to matzah, guys? Between 3 and 9 minutes, right? Between 3 and 9 minutes, that's the share kedei achilas pras. The share of kedei achilas pras is 3 and 9 minutes. So he ate this porridge, and he ate enough of it that he ate what? Ate truma. And therefore, now you have to say then the share of kedei achilas pras to eat if he's getting malchus must be the raisa. Or else, why is he getting malchus? Right? Again, a zor, a non-kohen that eats this mixture is going to get malchus. Good. So why do you? So there's 2 reasons you get malchus. Either because guys, the only reason you get malchus, guys, look at me. There's only one way you can get malchus. You ate a kazayas, correct? Well, you need this share. Good. The question is, how did you arrive at that kazayas? We thought you arrived at the kazayas what being mitzaref the heta. And what are we saying? No. You ate a full kazayas of truma. That's the answer. You didn't arrive of it being mitzvah of something. You ate a full kazayas of truma after this process. Okay, so there's a big kiddush over here. After this process, why that you carry malchus is that's a passion. That's the Gemara is going to say right now. Says the Gemara. So now, what are you telling me? You're telling me the share of after this process is the raisa. Says okay. Read the Gemara pras the raisa, right? You're telling me it's a din the raisa that in other words. You have mixed into this. You had to eat a lot of it, guys. It's porridge. You had to eat in 9 minutes enough to go ahead and eat a kazayas. So 3 minutes, right? You mean to tell me that shares the raisa to be chayiv on a tarubis? What's the Gemara's answer? Yeah, I'm like, that's basically it, right? That's it. Now, good. You're telling me that's the case. Am I pligi Rabban Allah the Rebbe Laza b'kuta chabavli? Now, kuta chabavli is this Babylonian whey dip. We've been through this. It's milachix. It's got some bread in it. It's got some sour milk in it, buttermilk. Do they still sell buttermilk? They do?
Is that on the menu for shower service?
You serve buttermilk, huh? I'm saying it's kind of. What? Someone was talking about it. How they must have been very old.
It probably comes to you.
Who you been hanging around with, Doc?
Well,
This sounds like that's right. Anyway,
Dedicated above.
okay. Anyway, so l'chayra, so this din of Kedechias Pas, what is the din now? Kutech HaBavli is this Babylonian mixture, right? Babylonian mixture. Now, the Gemara in Pesachim says, Rabbi Elazar says, Yechayev, Achilas Chametz, and the Chum say, you're not. If you tell me Achilas Pras is the Raisa, meaning if you ate enough of the Kutech HaBavli in that share, why aren't you getting Malchus like the Chachamim? Bishleim it's the Rabban, and I can understand why you're not getting. But if you tell me it's the Raisa, right? So Ichachi, I might polyg Rabban led Rabbi Elazar Bekutech HaBavli. If you're telling me that the tziruf of Kazayis Klei Achilas Pras is going to chayiv me, right? So why the Chachamim, right? Why do they say? So guys, why hetemit starf leissa? Guys, look at me. There's two possibilities you're getting Malchus. One, you don't have the share of Kazayis in Mitzdarif. Two, you ate a full Kazayis, right? We're waking up and saying that what? Ihachi, if the reason you're getting Malchus is because there's a full Kazayis there of Issa, we're asking on the Chacham Kut Chabavli. Why couldn't we ask this even if you hold it Hetem Mitzdarif Issa? We're only asking, in other words, again, there's two ways. You're eating a Kazayas, correct? The question is the Kazayas arrived at through a combo, or is no, you've ate a full Kazayas, right? When are we asking like the Chachamim of Kutcha Bavli? Only without the combo. Why would the combo not work? Because they wouldn't dash and kol. Because the Chachamim wouldn't dash and kol. They would hold like Rabbi Yochanan that you don't dash and kol. So they won't hold what? So Bishleima, if you tell me it's the din of Hetem, it's Starf L'Issa, the Chacham, it's not a kasha, the Chachamim. We don't hold by Chacham, it's Hetem, it's Starf L'Issa, because it says kol. We darshan like Rabbi Vo, like Rabbi Yochanan, only by Nazir. But now you're telling me it's not a din in Hetem, it's Starf L'Issa. You're telling me it's a din in Mamisha Kazayas. Why do they argue then? That's the kasha. That speaks out the kasha a little better. Because again, there's two reasons you can get it. So why did they only wake up now and ask the kasha? They could have asked it when Hetem and Starf List. There's no Hetem and Starf List. They had an answer. We hold like Nazir from Mishras, but we don't dash and kol. Good. So Baruch Hashem. So now, that's the kasha. So Amalei. So Rabbi said, Hanach l'kuch labavli. Leave alone kutach labavli. The leka kazayis b'chdei achilas pas. You never have a kazayis b'chdei achilas pas. What guys? Kutach labavli is a dip. It's a dip. It's made to be eaten as a dip. So what are you going to tell me the guy did? If the guy ate it so quickly, I think Lashon a sreifa probably ate it quickly, probably would burn him. Right? If he ate it, he choked it down. It's like the guy took a tub of hummus, guys, and piled it into his mouth. No one takes a tub of hummus and piled it into his mouth. It's a dip. You spread it around, right? You don't shove it into your mouth. So if you're telling me that he ate it like that way, that's not with bottled daitle, it's kolodam, and therefore you won't be chayev. And if he ate it the normal way you eat what? That's why you don't get malchus. If you ate it, that's not the normal way. And if you ate it the normal way, you didn't eat it in the share to be mitzvah to kazayis. Good. So therefore, very good. He held serve. Abai is asking that you said you want to say that kazayis kle'achilas pasad daraisa, right? And that's why by the case of mikvah, the zor, you're going to get what? You're going to get malchus. I got a kasha. Again, the case of mikvah, where you had a majority of chulin and a minority of truma, you're getting malchus not because hetem and starf l'issa, you're getting malchus for kedechilas pas, and it must be that you're getting malchus, it must be deraisa. And we're going to ask on that. Guys, you good? Just keep going back to says the Gemara. Okay. Shtei maduchos. You got two, the pestle and the mortar. The mortar is what holds it. The pestle is this, and the mortar is this. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at Doc, like the RX guy, right? Right. So the mortar, you got that now. You have two maduchos, and usually in a maducha you have spices, some type of spices. Aches shel truma, the aches shel chulin. One is truma, it's only for a kohen. One is chulin. Ulefanav, and in front of these two spices, shtei kedeiros, you have two pots cooking. Aches shel truma, v'aches shel chulin. V'naflu elu l'toich elu. And one falls into one falls in the other, and you don't know who falls in which. So if you're a kohen, you're lucky, right? If you're right, no, stay mutarais. They're both mutter, right? In other words, one that is they're both mutter, meaning the one that's a kohen to the kohen, but the one that was chulin, it'll be mutter. Shani oimer, because I'll be toilet and say chulin teichulin aflu uchumel teichumel aflu. Good. So now, is this a suffix? Are we being mekel or machmir? If it's the raisa, are we mekel or machmir? So the fact that you're saying you could eat it must be what? Says the Gemara, very good. So now, if you're going to tell me that kazayis b'achilas pras is the raisa, a taruvis of mixture is the raisa, amaya min and shani omer. Why don't we take, in other words, bishlema, guys, it's the rabbanon, the suffix the rabbanon, so maybe it's mixed into that. If it's mixed in, so machnish twice, it's only the rabbanon, so suffix the rabbanon, I'll be mekel. But if you're telling me it's the raisa, how can I be mekel? So suffix the raisa l'chumra. Elamai, what are you going to say? So okay, so now, so therefore, Revdimi. Okay, now, so good. Let's say, guys, follow along. Let's say Kedei Achilas Pras is the Rabbanan, correct? Going back by the case of the Par de Truma that the Zor gets Malchus, what would the reason be? There's only one other reason. Heta mitzdaref l'isser. Again, you ate a kazayas. The question is, how do you get the kazayas? Through a combo or a full-fledged kazayas? So you're telling me now, because of the case of mikpah, that heta mitzdaref that kedei achilas passes the rabbanon. So therefore, you wouldn't get malchus, correct? But we know you are getting malchus. The mikpah, again, go back to the Yom and Aleph. It says in the bottom line, if a zor eats it, you're getting malchus. That means that what? You ate a kazayas. If you're telling me that it's the rabbanon, that the kedei achilas passes the rabbanon, that can't be the reason I'm getting malchus. So what's the other reason you're getting malchus? Hetem mitzdaref l'isser, correct? And that was the kasha that we asked on the l'chayr. There's another source besides Nazir. Good. You guys with me? You just keep a cheshbon, right? So Fred the Gemara now. Elamai, what are you going to tell me? Hetem mitzdaref l'isser. The reason why you're getting malchus is because hetem mitzdaref l'isser. Amai aminan shani omer. Then why are you saying shani omer? In other words, you should, right? So you shouldn't. It should be asa. You know, if that's the rabbanon, so why do I say shani omer that I say that this fell in this? It should be asa as hetem mitzdaref l'isser. Ella, what do you have to say? Hanech l'tshuma tavlin d'rabbanon hu. Now, even if you're going to tell me that even to tell me that hetem mitzdaref l'isser is the raisa, correct? Even over here, you'd be mekel. Why? Because trumas tavlin is not the rabbanon. Guys, truma the raisa is only from midaraisa is only from dagon, tirosh v'yitzar. It's only dagon, grain, 5 grains, tirosh, wine, and yitzar, olive oil and olives. That's it. Anything else, the rabbanon. So Mamela, even if you're going to tell me that. Even if you can tell me over here that merely putting it together is the raisa, because kedei achilas pras, it can never be there. It can never be chayiv more than, because innately it's the rabbanon, right? It's the rabbanon. It's the tavlin. Since it's the rabbanon, so Mamela will make it. Good. Okay. Same kasha, similar way. Esevei. Shtei kupos. You got 2 boxes. Achas shel truma v'achas shel chulin. Ulefneim shtei soyin. And in front of them you have 2 soyin, the 2 measurements of food. Achas shel chulin v'achas shel truma. V'naflu elu mitoich elu, and now they're falling into each other. And the shnei mutarim, we're going to say the same thing. Shani omer chulin mitoich chulin naflu, truma mitoich truma naflu. V'isa kedai kezayis kedei achilas pras asa deraisa amaya min shani omer. Why we mekel? So bishleim l'didi says Abaya. Bishleim, according to me, that I hold that Rabbi Yochanan said that mikbas zarsh gets malchus is mishum hetem mitzdaref l'issa kegoyin in a fishi chulin. I'll say there's more chulin. Since there's more chulin, and I'll say that that it's bottle beroiv and there's no hetem mitzdaref l'issa. El l'didach, according to you, the amim mishum dikar kezayis kechilas pras, and he says the raisa, right? Kinafish chulin may have. What do you care, guys? Even if you have roiv, we don't care. If you eat enough that you're going to eat the isser, it's usser. Again, hetem mitzdaref l'isser. If I have a minimal of this, a lot of het, I won't say it. But if I have it's passive that this is there. If I eat enough of it, I'll get to it. Correct. So like you, it should be usher and suffik the rice and you should not say chulin fell and chuma fell. So Amalei, so Rabbi told him, Hanach l'chuma b'zman hazeh the Rabbanon. Rabbi said, leave it alone. This is speaking after the chum bias. Chuma b'zman hazeh the Rabbanon. Since it's the Rabbanon, right? Since the Rabbanon, we will be mekel. Okay. Yeah. You got it.